Today we're going to make an easy lemon cream cheese cake. This cake is so lemony and so moist, it's going to be a hit with everyone. So to make this, you're going to add 1 8-ounce package of cream cheese and 1 cup of unsalted butter, room temperature, and then add 1 teaspoon of lemon extract. And that is optional, but it really pumps up the lemon flavor. All right, so you're going to mix all that up, and you don't have to use a stand mixer. You can use a hand mixer, but you want to get this really smooth. So now you're going to add 1 box of lemon cake mix, and it's just going to be dry. So some cake mixes are 15.25 ounces, but the newer ones, they're going down to 13.25 ounces. So if you have the box that has the smaller ounces, you're just going to add in a little bit extra flour, and we'll get to that in just a second. So just add that dry cake mix into the cream cheese and butter mixture, and you're going to add 1 small box of lemon pudding mix, and make sure it's just the instant. It's not the cooked kind. You want the instant kind. So just add that whole package into this mixture. And now here comes the part that you're going to have to kind of change up. So use a 1/4 cup if your cake mix was 15.25 ounces, but use a 1/2 cup of the flour if your cake mix was that smaller amount, the 13.25 ounces. And so you're also going to add in a 1/4 cup of sugar and then 4 large eggs. Add in a 1/3 cup of milk and then a 1/4 cup of lemon juice. And so now you want to mix this. Remember, you can use a stand mixer if you want to, or you can use a hand mixer. Either way works. It is a little bit thicker of a batter, so just know that going in. It's okay. You didn't do anything wrong. It's just a little bit thicker of a batter. So once that is mixed, I like to go around and scrape the sides and the bottom of the bowl. And then I like to just mix a little bit longer just to make sure it's mixed well. And now this is true in cake mix types of cakes. I don't necessarily mix quite this much when you're baking a scratch cake. If you've been around here long enough, you know that about me, and you know that about scratch cakes. Anyway, so now you want to add that batter to a bundt pan, and I make sure to grease and flour the bundt pan really well. And this pan right here is the best bundt pan I have ever used in my whole life. It's an Anilon, I think that's how you pronounce it, Anilon pan. I don't really know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but I will put a link to it in the description if you want to check it out. So add the batter. It's going to be thick. Don't worry about it. It's supposed to be that way, and smooth it on the top. And then what you want to do is bake this at 325 Fahrenheit for 55 to 60 minutes. And then after it's baked, you want to set it on a cooling rack for maybe 15 or 20 minutes. And then you want to flip that over, and you're going to let the cake just sit there on the cooling rack to cool the rest of the way. And I'm going to make a glaze for this one. You don't have to do that. You can just sprinkle it with confectioner sugar if you want to, but I kind of like a little bit of a glaze on it, and I think a lemon glaze just kind of adds a little bit extra lemon flavor to this. So to make the glaze, just add 2 cups of confectioner sugar, and I sifted my confectioner sugar, especially when I'm making a glaze, because otherwise it can kind of clump up on you, and I find that this helps a little bit. Then add 3 tablespoons of just plain lemon juice. And I know this probably seems weird, but I like to use a fork to mix up just a confectioner sugar type glaze. It makes it really easy to mix up rather than using a whisk, because whisks kind of clog up on you, but the fork doesn't really do it quite as bad as a whisk does. And so you can see here I added a little bit extra lemon juice. You just kind of eyeball it until you get the right sort of drizzle or glaze consistency. All right, so what I do at the end is I do switch to a whisk just to make sure that I get out any clumps, and you want to make sure that it is really smooth. So now you just want to spoon it onto your cooled cake. If your cake is still pretty hot, it's going to just sort of completely run off the cake, so you want to make sure that it is cooled down. So I really hope that you enjoy this one. I took this one to a party and it was completely devoured. Everybody talked about how good it was. You will not have that sort of cake mix taste to it because you've added everything to it. Really, it is one of the easiest lemon pound cakes that you can make, and it is just so good. All right, if you try this one, let me know what you think. I will put a link to the printable recipe in the description below, and I will see you next time. Bye.